Greetings everyone and welcome to another Midnight Hunt draft. This one is a traditional draft and this pack has a black-red rare which is pretty good, and it's also an archetype I kind of want to draft again. It's so long time since I drafted black-red. Now is that a pick here though? I mean, picking a two-color card as a pack one pick one is always going to be a bit risky, of course, because this requires that both black and red are sufficiently open to make it worth, drafting both those colors. There are other good options. I think the Ecstatic Awakener would be my pick, otherwise it's better than the uncommons in here, and it is, I think, the best common in the pack. But I'm gonna try this. This is also, I mean, like I said, this is a really, really good card. So 3 mana 3/3 first striker is, good in limited always, and the weird triggered ability at the beginning of post-combat your post-combat main phase. It's something you don't often see, but yeah, this basically can give you free cards. So pretty sweet one. Now, what's my pick from this pack? Not a particularly strong card. There is a goalless procession, and then there's an arrogant outlaw. I think the outlaw is not exactly a second pick. There are some other cards from other colors. I mean, Lunarch, Veteran. Oh, there's a Burn the Accursed. I kind of didn't see it at first. Now, am I gonna pick a 5 mana removal spell? Pick 2? I don't think so. I take the goalless procession. I think this is good enough in most decks because creatures will die, and you getting in the long run several decade zombies can be rather valuable. Now this pack, can I please have Ecstatic Awakener, Diagraph Horde, and Play with Fire? These are really good cards. Or the 4-drop uncommon is okay, and the Siege Zombie is nice, and the Falcon Wrath. Perforator is like a, well, not definitely the worst black or red card from this pack. Now, what is my choice here? I do like the cheap removal, but I also like the Ecstatic Awakener quite a bit, especially now that I have a goalless procession. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the Awakener. It's such a good card. It really is. Crawl from the Cellar, Stolen Vitality, Silver Bolt. Well, it's gonna be one of them. And there is something like a Revenge of the Drowned. Could still consider blue-black, but definitely with the Florian it's worth at least, not exactly forcing, but at least trying to maybe, prefer a red card slightly more, or at least not take a completely non-black, non-red card at this point when I have these decent options. Is it gonna be the Crawl from the Cellar, or is it gonna be the Silver Bolt? I think I like the Crawl slightly more, so let's take that. And there's a Shady Traveler, and not a lot of, oh man, look at this blue here. There's both Revenge and the Falcon Abomination in here. I guess this is, yeah, I mean this is as clear of a signal as it can be. Blue is open, and I think I'll take the Abomination here, but yeah, bye-bye Florian. I think with the stuff I have here now, it's very, very hard to not be black and blue here. Alright, Overwhelmed Alchemist, definitely reasonable pick in here. Let's take that, and yeah, let's ignore that. Oh, I got a Corpse Gobble this late, along with a Baytook Angler and a Geist Wave and a Silver Bolt 2. Both would be, pickable cards here, but I like the Corpse Gobble most, although the Baytook Angler, well, the Gobble is just too good to ignore here. Alright, so maybe Locked in the Cemetery over the Blood Pact. Definitely over the Blood Pact, but over the Blade Brand too. Yeah, let's take the sort of a removal spell here. Otherworldly Gaze, Vivisection, and the Siege Zombie. Well, the Vivisection is definitely good, but the Siege Zombie is really, really one of the key cards of this archetype, so I'll just take that very nice 2-drop here. It's also a zombie, and now that I do have the Crawl from the Cellar, having as many zombies as possible will be valuable. Oh, this is actually I think it's an easy pick, but it doesn't maybe seem like that, but an on-color dual land is really good. This is much better than Evolving Wilds because you get both the colors from this, and this can often enter untapped. And I would take the Startle over the Devious cover-up, and I would be happy about the Startle, but I think this is such a perfect land for this deck that I'm just not going to pick a card that is still, I mean, Startle is good, but it's something you don't really miss too much if you don't get to, have it in your deck. Another Seed Zombie, this is really good stuff now. And he has nothing for me, I guess. Arcane Infusion. I mean, I guess I could splash for red. I still wouldn't be splashing for the Arcane Infusion, but I guess the Florian is somehow enough an option. Not gonna splash for the Electric Revelation though. And yeah, I'm really not a big fan of splashing. I just prefer consistent mana bases. And this Florian is definitely not enough to splash. But I think the card is splashable. It is also good later in the game than on turn 3, so you don't mind to play it later, but it's still not quite worth splashing. Now there is a red card that if it was a single caster I would be splashing, but it is a double caster, and I have such a nice beginning of a blue-black deck here that there's no way I'm gonna ignore either of these colors. I think I'll just take the Hobbling Zombie here and be very happy about this nice high quality 3-drop here. And maybe if I'm lucky I might get another Crawl back, but I mean, even if I don't, it's pretty good stuff now. Alright, well, I get a Blade Stitched Scarp here. Could it be more perfect? I don't know. Maybe I could have gotten some insane Bum Rare instead. But yeah, easy pick here, and I still, well, see a bunch of cards like a Revenge of the Drowned I would want to have, but let's just take the amazing uncommon 2-drop here. I have a fairly low curve here, so that said, this has a flashback. This has an activated ability, so I do have use for my mana. This has a flashback cost too, and this has a disturb cost, so it's not like I'm gonna run out of things to do. Now, there's an Evolving Wilds, a Rotten Reunion, I guess a components collector, which I'm not taking here, and a Mysterious Tome. I do quite like it. Getting to draw a card and tap a non-land permanent, I mean, every other turn is still good. Sometimes you would just prefer to have only the other mode, but of course you can't choose. But it's still a card I'm gonna take here. It's fairly cheap to draw cards and tap stuff, so I'm taking it over the other options. And another Locked in the Cemetery is not what I'm looking for here. I might play the one, but definitely flip the switch is the choice here. Now, I don't usually like the counter spells in limited, but this is a single caster, that's so good. And it's very close to a hard counter. Forcing the opponent to pay 4 more is most of the time going to mean that they can't cast it. Sorry, I mean that they can't pay for it. And getting the Decayed Zombie is huge. For this deck especially, I have already multiple payoffs for having them, and here's a very easy Larder Zombie here. Let's just take that and move on. There's not really anything else. The Blood Pact is not a card I'm gonna play here. Okay, and Drownyard Amalgam. Yeah, talk about perfect picks here. Yeah, this, I mean, well, when blue-black is open, you really don't get any bad cards. All of these are the kind of cards I want to play in this deck. Maybe the Locked in the Cemetery is the least interesting one, but then again, I don't have a lot of removal. If I need something, I need removal, and that, functions as a removal spell. Here, a Crawl versus Geistwave versus Consider. I think I like the Crawl more, especially because the amount of zombies I have is 7, not to mention any of the, Decayed Zombies I might be getting here, and I will be getting a bunch of them. Secrets of the Key is like, I guess playable, but Fading Hope is just much better here. I need some interaction. That's perfect pickup there. Nothing here is of interest. I'll take the uncommon. So currently I'm at 17 playables. Nothing in my sideboard I'm interested in. I'm really unlikely to splash anything. I mean, even the Florian here. So I only need, 6 cards. Alright, so now this is an interesting one, because I think the Silver Bolt is the choice. I have 2 of these, and you don't really, 3 would be a pretty heavy investment on this such an effect. So I'll take the Silver Bolt, and I might even main deck it. Crossroads Candle Guide over the 1/4. This does excel stuff from the opponent's graveyard, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna play the 1/4, but I'm kinda don't think I'm gonna play the 3/4 either. But who knows? Maybe I'll put it to the deck for now. Unsurprisingly, a lot of green gets passed late here. Now, what's the best option for me? Well, it is going to be one of the 3 drops. There are actually 3 of them. I don't think the Blood Thief is what I'm looking for here. Both of these things make a Decayed Zombie at one point or the other. And yeah, I'm not taking the Behemoth. Although the Behemoth wouldn't be bad, I will have a bunch of fodder for it. But I might get this as pick number 9, and then I might pick it. Anyway, flying. This is more offensive card, this is more defensive card. Which effect I'm more interested in? I think with the low curve I have here, I think I'll want to have the flyer. This thing also gives you the Decayed Zombie right away, whereas this only when it dies. Although the 2/2 Death Toucher usually dies pretty quickly. Oh, I got a crafted identity. Well, what about? How about this? Alright, so of course this is insanely good card. Let's just take it. I also have here like an Ecstatic Awakener I have to pass, which is sad, but it's not so sad when I get to pick a really, really strong rare here. Alright, so I wouldn't mind the Fading Hope, I wouldn't mind the Bait Hook Angler, but if I need this, if the deck is missing some kind of a card, it's just, you know, actual removal, and this Defenestrate is absolutely the card I want. Given how open my archetype has been here, I wouldn't be surprised to get something like the Angler back at pick number 11. Okay, that's pretty late for it, but who knows. Alright, here we have another Silver Bolt. There is also a Covered Cut Purse, and then there is, of course, Unblinking Observer. I have a bunch of instants and sorceries, and I guess like a... No, I think it's just gonna be the Covered Cut Purse. How many creatures? I have 11. Yeah, well, I mean, this is a creature too. But I'm not taking another Silver Bolt here. I'll take the Cut Purse. I like it more here. Okay, Dread Hound is really, really good 6-drop. It's actually one of the better 6/6 for 6 you can have in Limited. And that's even something that's not a green card. Usually green gets the good 6-drops. But yeah, and I'm talking about, of course, commons and uncommons. Of course, you can have a lot of good rares and mythic rares for 6 mana. But yeah, I think that is the pick here. There is still like Flip the Switch, Novice Occult. There's a lot of cards I could have. But I think the Dreadhound is the card I absolutely want to have here. Now, this is a best of 3 draft, by the way. Did I say it? Well, if I didn't, now, you know, I guess you also see from the, you know, the name of the video. It's a best of 3 draft. That means that even if I don't care about having this in the main deck, I might want to have it in the sideboard. And I think it's more likely that I will sideboard in a component collector than a Blood Pact. Alright, so I'm getting an Ecstatic Awakener at pick number 7 here. And I have to still pass a Startle and also the Covered Cut Purse, which, you know, I wouldn't mind having 2 of them. But anyway, the Awakener is insanely good, so let's take that. And pack 3, pick 8, Blade Stitched Scarp when you are blue-black. Let's see if I can go 0-3 here in this draft. Alright. Okay, I'll take the Locked in the Cemetery. That's definitely going to sideboard. I might sideboard one of these guys. I mean, I probably don't want to play main deck 2 of them, especially when I have so many cuts to make here. I'm never playing the Blood Pact. I'll just take the Great Uncommon here. And don't care about these either. So I don't get any of those stuff back. Not that I need any more playables, but I had some packs there that could have given me like a pick 12, still some playable stuff. I don't remember exactly what was the card, but I think there was some card I was thinking that could come back as pick number 12. Well, it did not come to me. Okay, there's a Bat Whisperer, which is... I don't have a lot of 4-mana cards. Who knows? But I have 27 non-land cards. That means I'm definitely playing 17 lands. That means 4 cuts. 4 cuts indeed. We'll see what those will be. Well, I'm not playing the Collector or the Locked in the Cemetery in the main deck, nor the... Well, not anything here. So let's just do this and find our 4 cuts. It's not going to be easy. I'm almost just wanting to cut the locked in the cemetery. I think I'm doing that. The other cards are just better in here. And yeah, it has to be one of the 4 drops. And I guess because, yeah, maybe I sideboard this in a matchup where a 4-mana 3/4 is actually a body that makes a difference, and also if the ability to exile a card from the opponent's graveyard makes sense. I will sideboard this in, but I'm not gonna play it in the main deck. Bat Whisperer I kind of want to play. I have a couple of flyers. I have also, it works with siege zombies, by the way. If opponent lost life, it also, of course, well, counts damage. Well, damage causes loss of life, and then of course just making someone lose life means they lost life. That's a news flash. Alright, so still 2 cards. Man, this is gonna be hard. I kind of want to maybe cut the Mysterious Tome, but I do like the card. I think the 1 5-drop and 1 6-drop, they are just too good here. I'm not gonna cut them. I guess the Bat Whisperer could still be cut, but then again, I don't have any 4-drops, and sometimes you rather play this 4-mana 4/2 on turn 4, if nothing else, even if you don't get the bat. So having the ability to somehow curve out is still valuable. But man, the 2 cards will be so hard here, because if I really want to be efficient here, I wouldn't play the Silver Bolt in the main deck. Now this is best of 3, so I can sideboard in stuff like Silver Bolt and Locked in the Cemetery if I really just need some removal spells. This deck might be a one that doesn't actually need that much removal spells. I can trade with creatures. I don't want to cut my zombies. I have 9 zombies here and 2 plate stitched scarps, and also the crawl from the cellar, although I'm thinking about maybe cutting one of them. But I think the Silver Bolt is gonna go first. And now it's definitely not gonna be the procession. That's too good here. I like to flip the switch. Mysterious Tome. I mean, it is not an efficient card. It's good if the game goes late. But is this deck good enough that I don't have to have these kind of clumsy effects? I think that's the case. I'm gonna cut the Mysterious Tome and instead keep the crawl from the cellars. And I can, in a grindy matchup, I can sideboard this thing in. I think I'd just rather have this setup of cards. Bat Whisperer over Mysterious Tome. Now I guess the lot. Okay, one thing is I'm thinking about if I really need the Lade zombie here, because I might not maybe need it. I have a couple of siege zombies. I have ways to use my, my decayed zombies. I can even just attack for 3 when I have the blade stitched scarp. So maybe in the end I will actually take the Mysterious Tome and not play the Lade zombie. Yeah, I don't need the 1/3 necessarily. And again, it's a card I can sideboard in. So yep, this is the deck. So how many blue and black? 15 black, 11 blue, double cast the blue. Yeah, but okay, I do have the rare land, so it's very easy to put 8 plus 8 basic lands, right? Yeah, I have more black cards, but because I have a double cast the blue, I do want to have access to a bunch of blue mana too. So yeah, I don't have that much early game. 4 2-drops, but I do have the Ecstatic Awakeness. I can, if nothing else, bounce some stuff. Yeah, this is like a late game thing too. I guess the Lade zombie in that sense would be maybe still okay. Yeah, looking at my early stuff. Also, it's something you can easily feed to the Ecstatic Awakener. Okay, fine. because of the lack of 2-drops here, even this is a 2-mana card, but it doesn't do anything, of course, especially not anything that helps you defend yourself. So I don't want to be run over here. I'm gonna cut the Mysterious Tome after all and play the Lade Zombie now. Fine, that's it. And then add 8+8. Basic lands, what is the great art for this deck? Something with a zombie theme must be it. So this 8 of these and then something from blue here. Don't think there's anything that ties to the theme, but let's take this kind of a dark, ominous art. I also like this Midnight Hunt Island art quite a bit. Right. So the deck does seem pretty good, but anything can happen. It's not a 3-0 or even a 2-1 until I have won some matches. On the play, yep. Look at this hand, 1, 2, 3, even both double casters. I have a black double caster, but it's the 6-drop. So, but anyway, I do have the mana for that. Okay, so this and this thing is a zombie bird. So with the blade stitched scarp, this actually is a 3-power. Oh, look at this. So I'm gonna get, because this Falcon Abomination gives me a free creature. I can use it as a sacrifice fodder for the crafted identity here if I want to. And now the opponent. Now normally in this situation I would actually attack with both, but now this is the kind of I think the Blade Stitch Scarp is too good here, because now I would net a card still, but the opponent might block the Ecstatic Awakener, and then I will of course have to eat the Scarp here. And they could have something like a Defenestrate to even kill this thing, and I would net a card, but in this case I don't think it's worth it, because the Scarp can pump, the Falcon Abomination here, for instance. Now, of course, I have now a decision between. I also could sacrifice the Decayed Zombie for the Awakener, but of course, if I can steal something good, although I might want to steal something later on. Let's see what they do. I'm not gonna steal just the Siege Zombie, I don't think. Not gonna block that thing. Let's see if they can play the Drain 2, 3-2. Okay, they have an ambusher. That's gonna kill a 1 toughness creature. That was a good one for them. But now I don't have to decide about them. What to steal. I'm thinking about just taking the Siege Zombie. Is that something I should do? That's the only thing I can cast this turn. Although I might just draw another land and then I could still cast this next turn. Well, whatever I do, I'm not going to attack with the 3-2 and they are not going to block. I can just attack first. Now it is really... They want to... If they have the discard 2 card, I can discard the swamps. If they have like a Duress main deck, that would be the worst. But I think it is better to see if they have something. Now this gives +1/+1, so this would be a 3-3. But if they have like an Axel 4-drop, it's just better to steal that. That's just how it goes. I don't care about the race situation. They might have the 4-2, for instance, now. But if they have it, they get a bat. Oh, I mean, this is gonna start looking bad for me. They get those 2-for-1s. They have even a Silver Bolt here. Wow. I mean, that's really... Well, Because the opponent still has 3 cards in their hand. I'm thinking about not even just stealing the Siege Zombie, because I could take the Ambusher, which is untapped, so I can at least block these guys. I think I'm gonna do that, because the Blade Stitched Scarab might die, or they might kill the Boulder Ambusher. I'm gonna steal here, of course, too. But yep, I think I'm not... With the double Ambusher, when they got to kill for free my Ecstatic Awakener and the Falcon Abomination, the control magic here doesn't even, work that well. They can just kill the 3-3 and then they can attack for 4. I do have a Defenestrate here though. I think they're gonna kill the ambusher and attack for 4 and raise. Killing the Scarp might not be what they want to be doing. It doesn't really, it's just a 2-3 currently. I think I need to draw my 5-drop or 6-drop here, because I'm not going to win this race, even if I have the defenestrate here. Huh. Okay then. That is going to be very nice here. So I think I will continue the race now that I drew the Hobbling Zombie, and I even can have the... I will have the defenestrate mana up here. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking the Stinger, of course, they can pump it. But I will trade with any other thing they might attack with. I'll get the Decayed Zombie. Okay, really good start for me, but the opponent's Stingers really did a lot of work. Oh, sorry, the ambushers, I mean. Not the Stinger. All this thing might make some work happen. Now I could kill it, you know, the classic. You know, make them use 3 mana and then I use the defenestrate. But would I just rather kill, you know... I don't care about that. I'd rather kill whatever they play, or maybe even if they double block the Scarp or something like that. Now they could have, of course, the Bat Whisperer. That would be bad. Yeah, them getting a free 1/1 flyer would be too nasty now. Eaten alive. That exiles, so I actually don't get the trigger here. Okay. I wonder why would they not attack with the rest of the guys now. Well, now I'm basically... I have to hope they're gonna double block here. Because I mean, they could take just... Okay, this could be good or this could be bad, but when I now drew a land here, this is just going to be too bad. I mean, I wonder why they didn't take 2 here. Maybe because they have a trick here. That's actually... Okay, they don't have a trick, but they have a Electric Revelation. They can... Well, I still get a 2 for 1 here, but they get to... You know, they have this flashback spell. They discarded Ardent Elementalist. I guess there was nothing... Alright, well that's very good against my zombies. Well... Well, let's see if they're gonna block here. I'm gonna... I mean, no matter whether they block or not, I'm gonna use it. Use like this, because the 2-3 doesn't really do anything. Okay, well there is the 6-drop. Sadly, I'm not necessarily going to be able to... Well, I'm gonna go to 5, so I'm not gonna die to 2 attacks. They need some additional source of damage to kill me in 2 attacks, so who knows? It really depends on if they can kill me on next turn or not. That is a 6-5 Trampler. Yeah, well, that couldn't have been any better. Oh, well. Okay. Fading hope. Keeping my hopes up. Wow. So when a creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard. Okay, so I have to just bounce this, of course. An attack for 4, and if they yeah, they can't recast it actually. Because then they will be at 4 or even at lower. Yeah, this is really... That was a really impressive draw. 1 mana interaction when I have the Dreadhound in here. Okay, what gets milled here? Land, creature, and Crawl from the Cellar. That's good too. Okay, so unless... I mean, they can still have, you know, just 1 damage to me. They could have like the Neonate's Rush or something like that. But if they don't, or Pump Spell. But if they don't, I will be winning in that case. Well, at least they will be in big trouble if they have to leave this as a blocker. Well, they are thinking I'm tapped out, and no, if they have a sure victory, they either are slow rolling or they really can't win on this turn. And they have cards, but they are constrained on mana. I can return here a bunch of stuff here. Don't have zombies to give any counters. This is a demon dog. A dog? A 6/6 dog? That's a big one. Well, it's a demon, so understandable, I suppose. So they will need to have... The 6/6 can't be... Okay, do they have like a defense rate? I guess if they did, they would just already do it. So this triggers when a creature dies or a creature card. So yeah, basically if a... Okay, they have the revelation, so they were desperate. They needed something, and now they can't actually even. So they discarded a silver bolt. Thermal Alchemist is not gonna help. They have to trade with the demon, and then they have to jump block the Dreadhound, and that actually means they will be dying. Oh, they actually can't do. They can't even trade here, because this makes them lose 3 life. They have to jump block with both, and they will go to 1, and both of these guys will survive. Now let's see if I have a victory here, because I want to win if I can, but I don't. Oh, I can with the Ecstatic Awakener, right? Yes, so I'm gonna just... Oh, but do I have the mana for it? I think 8 is exactly enough, so let's see. They have to now jump both. They can't trade with the Awoken Demon. I mean, that said, they are gonna be in a very big trouble if they are leaving. If they're gonna go to 1 and these will be alive and these will be dead, but I guess they could have some way to deal 5 damage to me. But yeah, they knew what they had to do here. They will go to 1 now. But now what I can do here myself is, because with 8 mana, unless I'm mistaken, I can do exactly this Ecstatic Awakener. And I will play it. And then sacrifice the other Awoken Demon, and then the Dreadhound will trigger and they will lose 1 more life. What a game. That was a roller coaster. It really seemed bad when they had the ambushers there. Okay, so how do I battle them? They also have the 4/3 dragon, which is nasty. So definitely the Silver Bolt kills the dragon. That's gonna deal 2 damage to my zombies. So I need at least that. What else? Mysterious Tome. Tap stuff every other turn. How good is the Lady Zombie? Now they are definitely playing, of course. Well, they have a multiple Silver Bolts. Okay, that's pretty slow against my deck because, well, I guess, well, it's still, 4 mana to kill one of my creatures, and it's gonna most often kill something that, or if not always kill something that costs less than 4, but anyway, it does hit most of my creatures. They had like a Siege Zombie. They have, I'm not sure how many of those early drops they have. I'm thinking about not playing the Lade Zombie here. They also have slow cards like Electric Revelation here. Maybe I can, even though I will be on the draw, maybe I can cut the zombie here. I might play the Silver Bolt instead. Now do I want to play the Locked in the Cemetery? Or the Mysterious Tome? How good is the Coward Cut Purse? I think it's pretty good against the Thermal Alchemist. There's nothing really much to do against the... I guess I just try to avoid them attacking, letting them deal damage, because the ambushers are gonna be pretty decent if they have multiple vampires. Yeah, I'm not sure about the tome. I just don't know. Maybe the crawl from... No, I want to play the crawl from the cellar because it gives me cards back. I think this is the deck. I mean, I just do that one switch. Silver Bolt in and the Lade Zombie out. And the Silver Bolt mostly because I want to have an answer for the additional answer for the 4/3 dragon. And Defenestrate doesn't even kill it. Anyway, okay, this is kind of nasty, but I feel like I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here. Yeah, I might as well play this right away. Let's hope they don't have too aggressive stuff. They have a Seed Zombie start. Can I be lucky here? Draw a 3-drop. And the Bat Whisperer. I will, of course, just play and trade with whatever. Yeah, this is... I mean, I took a risk here by keeping this kind of hand that doesn't have early plays. Now this is... Yeah, I'll just bounce stuff. I don't think I I'm gonna bounce end of turn, or I'm gonna save 2 damage here. I think I'm gonna prevent 2 damage. Also by bouncing this I get to scry. Awakener should be good enough, especially when I have the goalless procession here. Now I sadly only can play the Bat Whisperer in here. Well, I could play the Awakener, but that's not good. Okay, they get to play this, but they couldn't play the Hoppling Zombie because they only got a red mana from there. So anyway, I'm just doing this, and actually this is not so bad. I can trade with the Forages. Well, I mean, assuming this doesn't get killed by some removal spell. And then I have this 3/6, and 3/6 is big. They need basically a defenestrate for that. Or something like a Blade Brand. But then I have the Crawl from the Cellar, and this gets me tokens, and I can eat with the Ecstatic Awakener. Now I can take a lot of damage now. That's of course the problem. If they kill this thing, I'll be at 10, and they also have a Siege Zombie. Oh, they just use the Famished Foragers instead of playing the Hobbling Zombie. I guess they have a 2 mana spell they were gonna play anyway. Because otherwise I can't imagine that discarding the draw here for 3 mana makes sense. Well, they have the Thermal Alchemist, but even, I mean, if they had this, they should have played both of them, right? Alright, well, let's just focus. It's gonna be the Amalgam, right? Target player mills. Well, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna mill here. Especially with the Crawl from the Cellar here. So they can start doing their stuff with the Siege Zombies and stuff like that. If I attack here and I play the 3/6, it's good if they don't have an answer. Now that they did not play the Hobbling Zombie, I think I'm gonna risk here. I don't mind if they trade with a 2/2 or something like that. That's completely fine to me. Because of the stuff I have here available. I mean the Crawl from the Cellar. Now I get the Coalish Procession and all that. So this will be completely fine. And the best thing that I can do here is just use my 5 mana for this, and I will mill myself. So there was a Covered Cutpurse which I can cast for 5. It's gonna be a 2/2 Death Touch Flyer. That's nice. And I can get the Falcon Abomination back if I want to with the Crawl. But let's see, of course, what happens now. Hopefully they don't deal with the 3/6. Now this could be a defenestrate though. When they tap this, it means they have a spell for it. Eaten Alive. Okay, that of course works as well, and can't even return it with the Crawl. So now it was a bit... Well, I took a risk, but well, I took 4 here. Okay, anyway. Definitely I need to... What do I need to do? I have a lot of options in here. I think I'm still going to just play the Scarp and the Falcon Abomination. And hope they don't have at least instant speed removal. Because now I can of course trade with the Foragers. Don't think I want to quite yet attack with the 3/2. I might want to use it for something. So... yeah, I need to be able to trade with the Foragers, because I can't take 4 when they have this thing up. Now they discard the draw, which is... I'm not sure... Why don't they play the Hobbling Zombie? Well, now they can do that. Don't use the Alchemist. That would mean they have another piece of removal. They could have the Moonrage's Slash. I think that was seen in game 1. Yeah, them getting to kill the 3/6 was a bit nasty, of course. But me attacking with the 4/2 was risky, but when they have a Thermal Alchemist up, you can't really just afford to, you know, make the game go late. Alright, so now I'm just hoping they don't have a kill spell for the Blade Stitched Scarp, and they did not. That's very good. And now I have a bunch of... These will, you know, add up. Definitely will. And now they have an hobbling zombie. Okay, that wasn't bad for me at all. So now I think it's because I'm going to trade with them for 2 in here. Sorry, 2/2 here. Just figuring out how with what card I'm gonna do that. 6 mana. This is gonna cost 4. Kind of want to have my flyers here too. Guess I can be. This is really. I mean, I will be trading with this, but who am I gonna use for that? I guess I can just be like I mean, I guess I'm gonna do just like this. This might be a bit foolish, but it feels like I'm not gonna want to use the scroll from the cellar quite yet. And I will just take the ping from the Thermal Alchemist, and I will use the covetous guys to block the hobbling zombie here. Hopefully that works. I mean, if that doesn't, I will block with the blade stitched scarp, because I do have the scroll from the cellar to return it anyway. So now they have 2 cards, but now they definitely have something. Maybe it's the Electric Revelation, maybe it is a removal spell. Neonate Rush is, one of the best it could have been. But oh well. I can still deal a bunch of damage with all my 3 power creatures, of course. But I don't have many turns with the Thermal Alchemist being here. They don't attack. That is, I think, good for me. Oh. Talk about what is good for me. Now the question is, should I just take the Thermal Alchemist? Because I think that is the answer. I think Thermal Alchemist is what I should take here. Hobbling Zombie would be so good too, but this thing can this thing can actually kill me. Then I return something like a Falcon Abomination, I think. Actually, I'm not returning anything quite yet. And I won't be attacking with either of these. I don't want to take 2, I want to have 2. So if they have 1 removal, I still have 1 blocker. That's the idea here. That is the idea here. Purifying Dragon. Well, that is... that's nasty. That is really nasty. But this is not a zombie and it has death touch. So if this attacks, I can block. So, of course, now I will attack with all this stuff here. Bat Whisper. Actually, I need to return a Bat Whisperer, I think. And I do it now. Because these can be killed by the, the dragon here. So let's take the Bat Whisperer now. And target up to 1 zombie. So the Blade Stitched Scarp is gonna get the counter. I think the Hobbling Zombie is gonna block it no matter what, but I can return it again. Oh, I should actually do this. I have the Thermal Alchemist now. So now I'm going to attack with all this stuff here right now. They will take at least a bunch of damage. And I get another Decayed Zombie they can choose to kill. Those die there now. And I will have the Bat Whisperer now. This is a really interesting match, actually. Very close one. If they find removal here, I might be in trouble. But with the Thermal Alchemist on my side, Yeah, because they have only one blocker if they attack with that, so they find that, and that's just... Oh, that's so sad. They get to deal 2 to... No, this gets exiled. No, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I'll get 2 damage, right? And then they can ping the 1/1 with the dragon, and then I have to take 4 here. Oh, that was so close. I mean, that's just gonna happen here, right? Yeah. That's so sad. Well, I guess in the previous game I was going to... I had 1 life. I mean, exactly enough. Don't have blocker for this thing, so... that was really... I mean, because I was really liking my chances when with 2 flying blockers in there. And having such a powerful attack. I mean, I had it for 2. I was able to return the blade stitched scarp. I was able to give this thing a counter, so this would be 4 for this pings twice. I was going to deal 10 damage easily there. But yeah, now I lost. So Purifying Dragon is the bane of my deck here for sure. Do I want to have a Locked in the Cemetery to additionally deal with it? Maybe. Maybe I'll take 1 Locked in the Cemetery. Was there anything other I want to kind of... No, maybe, yeah. Alright, so what is the cut? Flip the switch. But do they have instant speed removal? They have like the burn, the accursed. Not sure. If I want to keep the flip the switch. It is good though. But so are all my other stuff. I guess the covert cut purse. Okay, fine. I will cut that. And that's the deck. Okay, I will be on the play at least. How about the starting hand? Well, this time it's also less risky. I did keep a risky hand. I can play the tap land right away, although I could just, play it as my 3rd land, but whatever. So this thing, and if this dies, unless it gets exiled, I get to bring it back. And sadly, nothing for turn 3 here. Yeah. Just thinking about how should I have my stops in here. Maybe they take 2, maybe they don't. I mean, there's like a blade brand. There's not a lot I could have here. But they chose not to take the risk here. Next turn, problem is probably they will have a... I mean, I could have the Bat Whisperer with value. And Silver Bolt, I'm kind of feeling like I want to... Well, I'm not gonna play it right now. I will attack with these. They probably will block, and then I will return it. Don't get any zombie here, but it's fine. Now, I could just play the Bat Whisperer too. Actually, it's maybe not that bad of an idea. I could play the Crawl, play the Blade Stitch, the Scarp, and the Silver Bolt. But maybe I don't even want to show them the Silver Bolt yet. Okay, I'm gonna play just this thing. It is a 4-2, they don't have a blocker for yet, but of course they easily can have. I'm a bit land heavy here. I have 6 lands with 4 non-lands, but let's hope I don't draw too many lands here in the next couple of draw steps. I have a card I can reuse here. So they have a Famished Forages. They chose not to attack with the Decayed Zombie. They could have also, you know, pinged with the Thermal Alchemist here. And, you know, that kind of... They would have gotten the 3 mana. Maybe they didn't need it for anything. Anyway, here is just gonna be a attack for 4. And I think I'm gonna use the Silver Bolt to kill the Forages in the end. And I just, you know, have to hope they don't have the dragon, or if they do, I use the Locked in the Cemetery. Am I gonna use the Crawl right now? I might actually do it. Now they know it's there, but I might need all my mana, so I don't want to miss out using the 1 mana there now. Let's see if they have the dragon. They have a Silver Bolt, which won't be that great now that I have the Crawl here. This is actually good now that I used my mana. Because now I can, for 6 mana, I can exactly play the Scarb. Well, I can actually do better now. But I could have played this and then used the Crawl. But this is much better like this now. So I'm gonna do this, and then I play the Abomination. And then I will get to play the Crawl so that I will give the counter to the Abomination instead. Oh, maybe actually, well, let's see what they play. But if I give the counter to the Scarb, I can attack through the Alchemist. And I know I could, at some point, play the Locked in the Cemetery so that they can't anymore tap it. But I would rather play this on a tapped creature or play when I have 5 mana. Okay, do they have another Neonate Rush? Would be nasty if they have another one. Well, that works too. But I can return it with the Crawl from the cellar, so I don't have to, of course, return the Bat Whisperer. Siege Zombie, not a bad one. Alright, so I have 4 cards in my graveyard. This won't tap yet. Okay, I'm gonna return Falcon Abomination and give a counter to this guy. That's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm going to attack for 3 here. I want to still raise here. I know if because I'm gonna play the Siege Zombie now, I could have not attacked with this thing to have a blocker on the Ambusher, and then, you know, still make them lose 1 life. But this way I made them lose 3 life. Now they might have... Okay, do I actually block the Ambusher? Because that's something I might do, because if they... No, if they have another Ambusher, they can use the Thermal Alchemist to kill the Siege Zombie anyway. So I think if they are not doing that pre-combat, I'll just maybe take the Ambusher here now. I'm gonna go to 12 and then I'm gonna go to 11, but I need to... Yeah, I'm taking the 2 here. This is risky. But the opponent has a good deck. So if they have another Ambusher, I would have lost the Siege Zombie anyway. So there's no... They have an Elementalist on the... Okay, Neonate Rush, but it's not going to... Okay, this thing... Well, I guess I need to just... Okay, but actually no, the Locked in the Cemetery is not very good for that, because it can give the counter to anyone. Well, the Defenestrate, finally I got something actually substantial here. Alright, so let's now focus. What do I want to do? I'm gonna play the Abomination and Defenestrate here. Now that they have the Elementalist, that is kinda annoying. Because it's a good block on the Siege Zombie and I don't wanna that to happen. I don't necessarily need to play the Falcon Abomination now. I could just play the Locked in the Cemetery on the 3/3 here. I also could maybe have, they could double block the Blade Stitched Scarp, and that would be great for me. So I think I'm going to do that exact thing. Or maybe I want to also attack with this guy now. I don't need it for anything. Because now that I leave the Siege Zombie up, I can still play the Falcon Abomination and have 3 creatures to tap. So maybe this prompts them to actually double block the 3/4, which allows me to use Defenestrate for great benefit here. Getting a 2-for-1, but they don't fall for that. And now I am at 12 here, and they are at 5, and I'm gonna play a 3-power flyer. Abomination is going to happen, and the Welderin Ambusher is not a card I need to tap down. I will defenestrate. I'm most likely the Stromkirk Blood Thief. This triggers at the beginning of end step. I'm gonna put, just in case, a main phase stop there. And I don't think I need to use anything like this right now. I have 2 creature cards in my graveyard, so they will go to 4 now. I'm not dying here. I mean, I'm not dying. Let's see how they attack. They have a bunch of pings, because this will ping and it will untap, and this will ping, so I'm at 8 basically now. So let's see, they might want to use this to draw a card now first. Hopefully they didn't draw. The first card they drew wasn't anything too good. That is something that happens. Now they have another card, 5 mana still. If they choose to attack. Okay, they have a Silver Bolt now too. Alright. So let's see how that goes. They're gonna kill the Falcon Abomination. So do I... make them lose life now? I think I do. If they attack with all, I'm not dying. It's very close. But I'm not dying. It's actually 1. I mean, unless they have a 1 mana spell, of course, then because I'm at 8 now. These things will deal 7. I guess I can kill the Ambusher too. But anyway, I think this... if they attack all, I of course win on the next turn. So I don't think they can attack with all. I mean, they don't know about the defenestrate, but they can maybe guess that it's happening, because I wouldn't have tapped my only blocker, because of course I will lose now. If they have the 1 mana uncommon shock variant, then of course it's gonna be bad. 3 cards there. Can I win on the next turn? Yes, I can, if they attack with all of these 3. This can't block anyway. So they're gonna play it safe. If they are, I'm gonna just make the... I'm gonna kill the Stromkirk Blood Thief, because it's gonna give them yet another counter. I can't really afford that to happen continuously. And then if I attack with the Siege Zombie... no, it's really... that's close actually. Let's see what I draw. Just a land. Sadly, because pretty much any non-land would have been pretty good. Now I can't... so if I attack with all, they won't be able to... oh, they have to double block this Blade Stitched Scarp to get rid of it. Huh. So if I attack with all, they have to make some... they can put the Elementalist in here, and they will have to block one of these 2. Okay, fine. Let's do it. I wish I drew any spell there, that would be so good. But that's fine, and then they will have to... they actually are going to sacrifice the Ambusher here. Do they have something for 1 mana? Okay, well this is exciting now. It's a top deck board, and I feel like okay, now I can just lock this down now because yeah, that's 550. So I'm gonna just although I guess I'm gonna tap their next creature instead. I can take a couple of pings here. Yeah, because next guy I'm gonna be able to tap. Yeah, okay, okay. Because this will of course have the jump block. And if they don't draw a creature, if they have like 2 lands in hand, I will anyway win here. So the worst is if they have removal. Oh man, come on. If they have a creature and the discard 2 effect, then it's horrible. Now they have the jump block with the Thermal Alchemist. I can live with that. And Red Hound. Man, the no way out could have been bad. Okay, yeah, because now even if I mill non-creatures, they will have to jump block with this and they will lose the 1 life. What a match! That was a really tough match. Close games, very close games, all 3 of them. But I did manage to win the first match. It would have been slightly disappointing to have such a good deck as I have now and not win the first match. So now, okay, now this. Okay, look at this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is great. But yeah, I mean, of course the opponent had a good deck, and I could have easily lost that match. But this is the kind of deck that basically has a chance to get to 3 wins. 1 blue mana shouldn't be able to punish me. They have something, but it could be them. You know, what's the opt variant? Consider is that? Or they could have like a fading hope. Consider it is. Do they mill the card? They did not. Land wasn't a good draw, but I have such a good hand here that it doesn't matter too much. Blue-green, okay. And this is interesting. Because I kinda could attack with the Ecstatic Awakener and take the 2 for 1 here. Trading these guys, drawing a card, having a 4/4 against the blue-green. I guess they can have a bounce spell or something like the or that prevents this from untapping. I could just play the Hobbling Zombie, but I could offer, you know, just trade here without using the ability, of course, to. But I think that I don't mind drawing extra cards here now, so I'm gonna do it like this. And if they block, I'm gonna sack the Scab. Now that they don't block, I'll just do it like this. This thing is incredibly strong. So, oh, double Scab. Anyway, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, they get a zombie token, and of course, at 3 more creature tokens, they transform it, and it's gonna be an insanely. Well, the decayed zombies won't have it decayed anymore, and all that. So, how do I do it now? I have the cut purse, but it doesn't actually do anything too beneficial here right now. I could just attack with all, force some kind of trades here. Okay, fine. I'm gonna, you know, force some trades here. I would like to leave the blade stitched scarps here, but it's just don't really think I need them that much in here. So I'm gonna play the other blade stitched scarp now. I'm kind of wanting to, you know, make them block with a 2/3. That's the idea. Block my 2/3 with this, so I can use the covered cut purse. That's kind of my grand plan here. Don't know if it's gonna work, of course, but it depends on what they're gonna do now. Because they can't, continue taking all this damage. I just want them to not be able to play 3 instant or sorceries and then get a ton of 3/3s, because I can't fight through an army of those 3/3s. They will be able to block when they lose all the abilities because of the puppet factory. Now that's sadly the kind of card that prevents my nice plan here. If I attack with the Scab, they will of course block with the Organ Hoarder. Now they haven't played any instant or sorceries yet. Now, of course, the Organ Hoarder is just an insanely good card too. But let's see what I draw. They didn't take a Forest and a Storm Rider Spirit. Okay. Land is not good. There's no reason to offer the trade now. With the Blade Stitch Scab here, that's not gonna be that good. So I think I'm gonna attack with these and see what they do. They can double block the Ecstatic Awakener, but I don't actually mind. I think the Puppet Stitcher is the card that will win the game. For them, I mean, will win the game for them if the game goes long enough. So I will want to get rid of this at any cost. I think at the end of turn might see me sacrificing the Howling Zombie for the Awakener. I kind of didn't like to pass with all my mana up, but I don't want to do this. I want to see what they do and then decide what to do with the stuff I have here available. The Cut Purse will be able to fly, so if they don't have... Well, that's it, they have 5 cards in hand. They probably have a bunch of answers. So they tap that thing. Alright, so that's tapped. Does that target? Yeah, they will always get the counter no matter what. Are they erasing me? They can do it again, and then of course they will already have yet fairly. Okay, they just oh, I take 6, that's like fine. How should I do this now? They have 3 mana up, so that really is suspect. Oh man. I'm gonna actually do it like this, because this can't attack. I mean, if they have a bounce helper for the Awakener, or they could have a fight spell too. Anything that works with instant speed. I'm just losing here. Yeah, okay. It's just not gonna happen now. They get another Decayed Zombie. I have basically nothing there. Yeah, it's too much. That was too much to deal with. I will need a Silver Bolt to kill the nasty creature they have. And, well, there's nothing I can do about the Organ Hoarder. I will keep in mind to have a Storm Rider Spirit here. And it wasn't the fight spell, it was the clear shot. So something to keep in mind as well. Well, I will have to flip the switch. Maybe I get to counter something. And I won't be needing the Larder Zombie in this matchup. Locked in the Cemetery. Is that something I care about? I think I would care about the Mysterious Tome too. So if I have that, I will cut. Now against the green deck, I think the Cut Purse will be good. They can have some big creatures to block with. Yep. Okay, I'm not cutting that, but I have to cut something else, of course. Always so tough. I like the Archivist too. It's so tough to cut anything in this deck. All the cards are so good. Crawl, good. Fading Hope, good. Especially if they have the Clear Shot, it's a great 1-mana counter spell on that. Man, do I need to cut the Cut Purse? I guess it's the clumsiest of the cards I have. Or maybe the Bat Whisperer, the 4/2. Okay, fine. The Bat Whisperer. I will cut that. And that's it. Yep. That's good. That will enter tapped. So do I want to... I want to have my siege zombie on turn 2, so... Because this would have to be my third land for it to enter untapped. So I only lose basically is now. Well, and my ecstatic awakener would not have been able to attack anyway. Not that the siege zombie can attack either. Did I cut the cuts first? No, I did cut the 4-2, so I could have. They have a suspicious. Okay. Okay, that is pretty good. Well, let's see if I'm gonna draw my... Oh, I didn't put any stops, so they of course block now anyway. I need to draw a land next turn, because if I don't, they will get to flip this guy. And then they will just draw cards. I need to kill it, or at least play a spell. They get to loot now, but looting is not as good as just drawing a card, of course. Oh man, this is a really nice deck they have. They have the puppet, whatever, puppet master, and they have the stowaway here. Yeah, sometimes best of 3 drafts up, you have some easy opposition. In this draft, both opponents have insane decks. I mean, I can say it already that this opponent has an insane deck. And there is the land, so that's good. And that's what I'm gonna have to... It's gonna be a knight. They might have some green werewolves, but I could play the hobbling zombie, I mean, and then they would... Well, first of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to... No, it's actually tough now. They might block with the larger zombie here. If I attack with the awakener, I mean. And then... If I use this to sacrifice this, they lose the zombie, but then this will flip because it becomes night and they will get to draw a card right away. That's bad. That's really bad. I guess I don't have time. I mean, I can't do that. I will just kill this. It will become night, but at least this will die now. They will get to use the larger zombie here, so that's like a perfect turn for them, getting the Falcon Abomination here. That's really good for the opponent. I think I'm in trouble already here. Do they mill that card or draw it? Well, they did draw it. So I guess they didn't benefit from this, but I guess that also means that they draw what they wanted. Which is not good for me. There's the Stitcher again. Well, this time I can attack with the Awakener. I will get to deal 1 damage. And now I will have the Decayed Zombie, so I can feed something to the Awakener here. But they have already won the zombie token. If they get another one... Well, if they get a third one, because I just used my removal spell, I was saving for the Puppet Stitcher, but they had another rare I needed to kill. So not good. Okay, there is... yeah, I need to get rid of this thing somehow. I just don't have the means to do that. I have a Defenestrate in the deck. But this thing is just insane. When they have when these become 3/3s that can block and don't, die after they attack, I'm not beating them at all. There's just no way. And this will trigger at the beginning of the upkeep. So basically, if they can play an instant or sorcery in this turn cycle, then it means that I will need to find a removal spell. Oh, they have a clear shot here. That would be pretty good. This becomes a 3/3, they kill Ecstatic Awakener. If they have a clear shot. Alright, bye-bye. That was it. Opponent just had so much better stuff than me there in both games. So not only did they get a 2-for-1 there, they also got the third, token there. If I drew like a Defenestrate there, I would still have lost the game, given the, the stuff they had there going on. So let's see if I have a third opponent with an amazing deck. My deck got to shine in the first match. So at least I needed to have this deck to win the first match. But now, oh man, 500, but I guess it's good enough. But this could really backfire if I draw a land here. Now that's something that, you know, uses all my lands in here. So that's not a bad draw at all. It is not something that allows me to play anything, you know, early here. But at least it's gonna allow me to cast this probably on turn 6. Festival Crasher. Well, thing is that I can't really block that thing because it's just too easy to play anything to, you know, make this guy die. But then again, I did draw the covered cutper, so I want to play this thing in case I'm gonna be able to attack with this on the next turn and maybe kill their thing. They have 3 lands of different kinds. Angel of Fire Ignition. Well, not much I can do about it. Oh, I'm gonna assuming that I forgot they have Vigilance. They fell for it. No, they did not. They cancelled the block now. Okay, I'm losing to Angel of Fire Ignition here if I don't find removal here. Alright. I mean, I'm not losing to it because I have the cut purse, so they can't block with it, but they will have a 5/7 creature. So I need to defenestrate. And they're gonna go for it. All the eggs in the same basket. Imagine if I can even draw the, you know, the bounce spell which I have in my deck. Well, there it is. There it is. I think I'll just I could use the... No, I'm gonna do this now. Okay, good. I drew the bounce spell which I needed here to have a chance. Now I'm still you know, not in a great shape because I'm at 8 and they are at 25. But I have the board presence here and I have actually a pretty good draw here coming up, and I have the Dreadhound waiting. They kill that thing, they get to have a clue token, but at least I got my decayed zombie here. So if they are gonna play the Festival Crasher, I could maybe play the, you know, get some value out of the cut purse. So I'm not playing the Stitch, that scarf now first. I'm gonna just attack with this. Hope they block. No, they don't. Why don't they do that? Well, I guess I'm sideboarding this out. If they're playing around this kind of effects, why would I use this? A 3 mana 2/1, even if it has the disturb option, is not really that great. Well, land will be a good draw, and so will a... okay, they get another... oh man. I'm really getting wrecked here. They have 2 card draws here waiting, and now I get a Lade Zombie. I can't even attack with this guy now. Not gonna use the cut purse. I maybe find some value out of it. Oh man, they have basically 5 cards now. They have all the time in the world to, you know, use 2 mana for these. So the foul play, Elementalist foul play, great stuff. The Elementalist isn't the, you know, most impactful body here, of course, but the problem is I can't... whatever. This is a 3 power guy, I have to jump block it or go to 2. I just had no chance there. I guess the Silver Bolt is gonna be okay here. So it's like a black-red splashing for the Angel of Fire thing here. Well, they had multiple Evolving Wilds. It's really disappointing. I'm gonna say that. Sorry. I mean, this deck is... I mean, I guess the opponent just had to have it. Well, they start with the you know, the Angel of Fire Ignition. I didn't have the answer immediately there. They just dealt too much damage in there. Maybe I will play the Locked in the Cemetery as well. Man, the foul play is so good here against my deck. Do I want to play this thing just to have an option to exile something from there? I guess I don't like the Bat Whisperer now that they have like this kind of 4-drop themselves. And I'm not gonna play the cut burst. It didn't do anything. The opponent didn't fall for my things there. So I'm gonna put Locked in the Cemetery, Mysterious Tome, Crossroads, Candle Guide. I kind of like the Candle Guide actually. What else? I haven't seen the Corpse Gobble. That could have been good in some of the games, I guess. When I have a bunch of decayed zombies. Make a big menacing creature. Alright, so Locked in the Cemetery. Don't know really. Probably it's not needed, but is the Mysterious Tome needed? Maybe Bloody Zombie is not. Okay, I'm gonna play the Tome here. Can I win a game against this opponent? I didn't win a game against the previous opponent. So if this deck is gonna end up with games going like 2-5, that would be sad. At least I got one of the great starting hands now. Unless I draw like 3 lands back to back, but hopefully that won't happen. I will play the Siege Zombie now, of course, turn 2, because I'd rather maybe even sacrifice it for the Awakener, but then again I can attack for 3 on turn 3 with the Siege Zombie if I just play the Scarp here. So what land are they gonna get here? So the previous game, it wasn't like an... The only insane thing about it was that they had the Angel of Fire Ignition start in there. So I might still have a good matchup in here if they just don't draw that specific card. Alright, this is a good one. So I'm gonna do this and then play the Scarb. And let's see if they... Well, I guess if they have a mass removal now, they will be in a good shape. But this Hungry for More didn't do anything. I mean, Drain 3 is like okay, but I have the board presence now. They don't have good blocks on the Awakeners, for instance. So they just do nothing, not even do this. So that means they have some kind of an instant speed effect. So maybe I'll play the Coalish Procession right away. Can they have something with Flash? If I play this, I can't use... Yeah, I suppose I'm just not gonna play the Procession, because if they use something from removal, I can use an Awakener. Yeah, that's actually very valuable. Now that I think of it a bit. They basically can't use removal, because that would be valuable for me. So yeah, this is really good. I'm not sure why they did it like that, but this is really good. And I was thinking about maybe playing the Procession here. I guess I was a fool myself, but I did realize quite soon how I should play here. Alright, so let's see. I mean, I'm of course having a dominant board here now. Let's see what they find now. If they have an instant speed removal, they should use it right now before I untap with the other Awakener available. That's the best thing they can do. Or they might have the... No, they didn't even have the exile a creature by sacrificing your own with 1 mana. Okay, so guess I'll just do this. And I don't think I want to sacrifice the Siege Zombie here. Although if I do, I get a... Decayed Zombie, and I will deal an additional point of damage. And I will of course draw a card. Then they have 2 4/4s to deal with. You know what? I'm gonna do it. They will go to 6 now. Can't imagine them dealing with both of these unless they have the mountain burn down the house. Yeah, that would be a sweet end to this event. flip the switch will be pretty good. I actually can have mana up for both of my instants now. Without the mass removal spell, they won't be dealing with both of these. That's just not going to happen. And of course I can kill a non-flying blocker they might have. So I can easily maybe deal lethal damage to the opponent now. So they kind of kept a starting hand with only Hungry for More and the Defenestrate, so not really anything that affects. Oh, they have multiple of those. Now I'm even happier that I'm even okay. They get the 6. Is that an exile? No, it's a token, so it doesn't trigger this thing. So that's actually pretty impressive. If I didn't have the counter spell, I might be worried a bit. Should I? Yeah, I should attack with the. That's 11 damage. That's almost enough to kill them. But yeah, I'm happy to sideboard in the. I sideboarded in the thing that can exile a card from their graveyard. I hope I had the black instant speed, exile a card, make a decayed zombie. Seize the storm. So they get like that kind of thing, which is not going to do anything. I have no reason to show my stuff here when they are going to lose now. Alright, so they are spell-focused black-red deck. And yeah, I know already 3 flashback spells, so if I had more of these guys, I would sideboard it in. And there's the one mana black instant with flashback that exiles a card from a graveyard. I saw one of them in the draft, but I picked something over it. I would definitely want to have that now. Okay, so the component collector seems to be a pretty excellent choice against the double Hungry for More. 1/4 blocker is gonna be great, so I'm gonna do that. Something else I want to have. This is really bad against that specific card. So maybe on the draw, Mysterious Tome might be too slow, perhaps. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the Tome here on the draw. So the final game of the event, unless this somehow ends in a draw, which I don't think is very likely to happen. Is it even possible in this format with these colors? Oh, you did have to do it. Well, this is not keepable. I mean, I have this amazingly good card, but I don't have even 1 blue mana for it. I have nothing to play early in the game, so... Well, this I have to keep. But I guess it could be worse. This might get some value with the ETB ability. Jack O'Lantern. So they can exile something from me, which is not gonna be relevant anytime soon. They might want to draw a card from this thing. Yep, they actually did want to draw a card from that thing, and they don't have a 2-drop, that's what it means. Okay. Defenestrate. I guess I'm gonna just kill whatever they might have. So they can fix. Okay, Thermal Alchemist. A pretty annoying card. Probably just killing it. Don't have much else going on here. I hope they play like 1 Hungry for More on the next turn, so that I can exile that. Because I don't wanna... I guess I can exile the Jack-O-Lantern so they can't have the white splash. Well, now they can get the planes, so... So that was that. Oh man. I really don't want to... I'm gonna wait for one more turn, because I don't necessarily have a play for next turn either because of my lands here. So they might have the, the red uncommon. Or they chose to get this instead of a plains. Well, they have a plains in their hand then. So the storm, seize the storm. What's the uncommon they played in the previous game? Okay, so this is the game we are playing. I guess they are playing like around counter spells. Well, okay. I can have the Fading Hope up, and because I can also bounce my own guys with it, of course. And I can now have the Ecstatic Awakener up too. I mean the activation. So they have a defenestrate in here, which I think is gonna be just... I'm gonna scry here. Don't need that. So now if they were worried about me having counter spells, now I'm tapped out, so they can do whatever they want to do. And let's see if the candle guide is gonna get something here. That's nasty. That's really nasty. They have a brutal Cathar. Wow. Well, this wasn't a bad draw, but I can't say I'm happy about this, how this turned out. Let's see if I can mill something great here. And nothing of significance. Well, I guess I didn't really want to draw these either, so I'm closer to my good cards now. But if it becomes knight, this is a 3-3 first striker. I guess a 3-4 can deal with it. But I might have to actually start using this. I mean, not using, but playing this card. And that is... Am I gonna make this unblockable because I can? Maybe they have a burn spell or something. Fine. Let's do it. And I have to use the candle guide now. If they have another defenestrate for it, that would be bad. I wanted to make it unblockable because this has first strike. They could deal 3 damage in the first strike and then, you know, burn it with something like another Moonrage's Slash. Now I'm gonna play the candle guide, whatever. I waited long enough. I have to try to raise them. So I'm gonna, of course, exile the defenestrate because they might have the 2-1 Ardent Elementalist or whatever, which could get it back. So now at least it can't. It can take a slash, but it's only dealing 3 here. Now I will learn something about whether they are gonna attack or not, because they are not gonna just attack unless, well, okay, they had another kill spell. So yeah, this is like a black-red spells deck, splashing for some nice white, and there it is. I mean, of course they now, it's as if they knew I have the 3-4 in there. It's really, I mean, now they get to exile that thing too, so I'm basically dead if I draw another land here. Yeah, well, that was the event here. I know I could wait for another turn here, but it's just... okay, fine. Yeah, I guess did I have a defenestrate in this? No, I used it already. I used also the Fading Hope. Okay, there was a Silver Bolt left. So maybe if I'm next... because I'm taking here, what, 7... I will go to 7. No, okay, if I then get a Silver Bolt, yeah, fine. But then I lose 3 because this will... Well, no, it won't be knight. Okay, I could have checked one more turn, but okay, the likelihood to draw that one specific card was incredibly low. And well, I played against blue-black decks so much myself and always said, oh, I get a mythic rare from this set because I have all the other standard sets. And this is just, you know, the kind of daily Icier that got upgraded here. Oh, that's funny. This is like a, what, 10% times 1. It's like a 1 point something % chance to get a mythic rare, and this is from across all the standard, and I have completed all the other standard sets except for the Midnight Hunt, so the odds to get one of these mythic rares from a daily reward is really low. So well, I guess I can mark that in my spreadsheet now. So something as like a consolation prize after all this miserable stuff in this event. So yeah, I was saying that I have played so many times against blue-black decks and gotten like overwhelmed, completely, you know, having no chance against them. But now, I mean, I just didn't, in this last game, for example, I just basically, well, the opponent had all the removal. They had, of course, the rare, the white rare. It exiled 2 of my cards. It exiled, was there a Scarp, and then there's the Amalgam. Now, of course, if they 2-for-1 me, actually 3-for-1 because they also had the creature there, and I had to use my removal. I didn't have to use my removal, but I did use my removal earlier. So yeah, now that I got this insane blue-black deck, I guess I had one in a best of one draft, and I got 7 wins with it. Not a long time ago, but this really I wasn't expecting to, because the games went. Well, I guess I won one game in the last match. Okay, so I won what 3 games in the event and lost 5. Was it? Yeah, I lost. So 3 games won, 5 games lost. I didn't expect that kind of a result, given that look at the mana curve and all that. I should be having a pretty good time with this deck, but yeah, I don't know. Didn't work this time, the blue-black. So let's claim the 1-pack price here. At least I got the mythic rare from the reward, daily rewards here. Alright, so anyway, that was the draft this time. Next one will be a premier draft. I will see you then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.